Someone wants to meet.
He comes from Busoga, that's about
Are you getting some
Now, Lord, this August house, the venerable members who are helped, not just themselves, but their families and the ideal of Busoga College Mwiri. May you bless this spirit. May you bless, continue to give us the spirit of saving. May you continue to give us the spirit of investment. May you continue to give us the spirit and the guidance of thinking and innovating for the betterment of our children and for the betterment of ourselves. May you touch those who have sons and they have taken them to other schools to change their minds, to take them to Busoga College Mwiri, because if it were not for Busoga College Mwiri, probably they would not be what they are. Lord God, raise your hand, touch them, touch their spirit, and those who are thinking of taking them to other schools, Jesus, not Busoga College Mwiri, may you change their minds, because it will begin with us, and the glory of our school will definitely begin with us and not end with us. In Jesus' name, I pray.
Thank you very much. They are surprised me. Ladies and gentlemen, or gentlemen, I know we have some ladies. This is the first meeting of the shareholders of Busoga College Mwiri Old Boys Association. I know there are some members who may say but have not yet subscribed to be a shareholder. The reason we have invited you is because we want you to subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, before I ask the interim chairman to say what, Joke, you are welcome. That is the most senior OB of mine as far as I'm concerned. I see Charles Knight is saying, how about me? No, the other man is more senior. I was with Michael Joke in primary, in GJSS, and then Busoga College Mwiri, then at the faculty. So the man is very senior. You're welcome. Register and also pass the other side. What I was requesting the chairman of the board to do is to lead us into that Mwiri song before we take off, so that Chairman, can you manage? Members, please stand up. This song is
I want to suggest that we all move. So I think we'll sing the chorus and the first verse and then the chorus. Okay? I was Yampindi wololo Tetuli bunoninya iseife wololo Tetuli bunoni bulyampindi wololo Tetuli bunoni bwebavinga wololo. Fred is suggesting we sing the more modern one, Truth and Light. Anyone knows it?
I remember people like Dr. Abbott, who used to cross to the sister hill very frequently. You know, today we have not moved with our wives. So those things we used to do at Busoga College Mwiri, we can talk. Hoping nobody will go and tell Mrs. Chairman that my friend. But I'm told it is only Wilson Wamasembe who managed to win a soul from the sister hill. Wilson stand up for recognition. Some of us really walked and walked. I remember you would carry your shoe in a bag. Then as you're about to reach Wanyange, then you remove the other one and put on so that you are presentable. And I remember Wilson, you were also the entertainment minister of our time. But that does not explain my size now. Do not say it's not the case. Close to me, benefited. They really enjoyed life during our time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is because of that thing which will keep us together as hobbies of Busoga College, as people who really benefited. Some of us, honestly, would not be what we are if it was not for Busoga College Mwiri. Of course, there are some people who used to be in Mwiri who never made it. They would tell us that for us, they brought us here to grow. We are not interested in your education, we are here just to grow with you. Fred, I don't know, are you ready? You are not ready yet. You get a chance of squeezing the girl right now. Presentation. Thank you very much. Why don't you? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, engineer and doctor. I think let me request the other members of the executive to Dr. Shiamwa kindly. Titus, pastor for the day. Is there any other committee member, because you need to see the people you are entrusted your responsibility with? There is CPH Bedi, but he's seated right over there. Maybe we could excuse him, let him just put his hand up. Thank you very much. Ladies, we have some ladies. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, but gentlemen in double digits. Would like to thank you very much for honoring the invitation of the chairman of the investment club, and we would like to appreciate this initiative. As MOBA, our role is one or two, to create a framework under which some of these associations or these initiatives can thrive, and would like to encourage everybody to support such initiatives. All of us were in Mwiri. What do we want to be after Mwiri? Mwiri created for us a family. I'm sorry, it's a family. I say, and it's a light evening. We should feel as free as possible. Mwiri created for us a kind of family. We should be a clan, we should be family, we should keep together. We've got almost the same shared historical legacy. It's the only school that produces great men. I wouldn't wish to dwell onto that. You know that for sure in all the sectors. So would like to appreciate you for coming to this particular initiative. We've got so many interventions that are under MOBA. We've got the endowment fund, the Mwiri endowment fund. This is geared to attracting talent. This is a fund that ultimately will target talent. We were looking at resources, the quality of resources that go into that school to go up a little above what it is currently, and we'll appreciate that. The endowment fund is now fully operational, and it's headed by Justice Egonda Ntende. So if you've moved with about 20 million or want to contribute to that one, the secretary to the treasury is the same person, Mr. Chibedi. So today is a day for the Mwiri Investment Club. But we would like to appreciate you. Let's take this opportunity to appreciate you, OBs. There's a lot of work that you are doing, both at individual level and also in your respective houses and other contributions that come in from time to time. We'd just like to encourage you to keep together. Let's keep as a family. I'd also like to thank Dr. Fred Muduri. Okay, you are now a doctor. You know, his father was my permanent secretary and he was a doctor. So I'm sorry, at times the tongue goes the other way and I call him doctor. So you can benefit from your father's titles. So this is very, very good, ladies and gentlemen. I know some people will be joining us later, but when I read on the forum, the amount of attention that has been given to this investment initiative is really tremendous. I would like to appreciate this and just encourage you to be part of this initiative, and also encourage our colleagues who have not come to come and join us. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Mine was just a welcoming note as the umbrella organization, but I also took a little bit of time to tell you about what is happening at the school. I know for sure the chairman board of directors has got more to say. Chairman, let me have this singular opportunity to invite you and you hand over, before we hand over to our chairperson of the day, to take us through the main event. Chairman.
Thank you very much, President. Ladies here present, and all the old boys. Many of you may know that I was involved in cricket for a very long time, and I was passionate about cricket. I was privileged to have played for Uganda as well. So growing up and all my life, cricket is one thing I always treasured and still treasure. And I've been fortunate enough to watch a lot of cricket all around the world. We were having a discussion with my wife, and she balanced my involvement in Mwiri and cricket, and said, in spite of what you think, what I've seen, when the call of Mwiri old boys are very different. Some of you have been in Mwiri and other secondary schools as well. but there's a way, Mwiri has some magnetic pull. And I don't know what it is. There's a teacher at Mwiri who calls it a disease called Mwiriism, whatever that is. So for me, it's always my joy to be around old boys. I've been the president of MOBA and the chairman of the board. Those come and go. The important thing is the old boys network. And I think that's what this initiative here is trying to do. Someone like me, his elder brother is my friend, former LC5 chairman, was it Wakiso? Levi. Mpiji. And so I knew him through Levi, but we've known one another for over 20, 25 years, but the discussion of Mwiri, sponsored Mwiri, you have an event, Robert, manachida kusobola kuidai munona amadi. When we had the centennial celebration in 2011, he gave us a lot of water, enough water for the entire function, and on other occasions. But now, Wechitibwa, we want you to come into the forefront and do even more. I believe there's a lot that as Mwiri we can benefit from your being in the Uganda government. He's already registered, fantastic. So there's so many, both at home and abroad. We talked a lot about the school on Sunday. Our voices went hoarse, so I'm not going to say too much. If you want to improve your school, the time you have keen interest is when you're a parent. That's a fact of life. So indirectly we can improve Mwiri if we take our children to Mwiri. Titus's son is in S1, my son is in S3. I'm very confident. There's one in P7, he's a junior prefect. In S1, it must have been. The road, we were supposed to have had the groundbreaking yesterday, but those of you who are old enough to remember, in the mid-80s, the term uncoordinated troop movement. Does anyone? But we look around, and I just look around the room and I see people I have not seen forever. I couldn't even recognize Dr. Mukam. I think I last saw him when I was in S6, he was in S1. 79 was it?
Yes, 78 I was S1.
78. Yeah, and I see very many of the class of 78 here. The Dr. Chair was, Richard Kapiri was still a small boy in primary, I think. There are quite a few around here, 78, and the John Omars in South Africa and so on. But let's say this is our school. It is no one else's school. We results of today. So let's go back to our school. Let's make it what we want it to be. Thank you very much for coming. Let us support the initiative. I'll hand Katizindalo back to the president, and let's enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Dr. Nelson Musowa, yes, kindly stand up. Yeah, I've been telling him a lot. General are both old boys of Mwiri. So we appreciate your coming. I know you have a very busy schedule, but thank you very much. May I call?
That's the executive, interim executive, which we are going to rectify today. As I said, we also have our partners, the FCU Bank. They are here this evening to give us a talk of how we can work together to see the investment club develop into a bigger multi-billion. These days, they used to talk of millionaires, but so many people have millions these days. So maybe we want to talk about trillionaires. Yeah. I'm going to take a few minutes of yours and through a presentation which is on PowerPoint. It's just going to about 13 slides, but to take you through how it all started, as delivered, and we managed to reach out to a number of our old boys, both who are here and those who are in the diaspora. So we were able to reconnect narratives as old boys So it became a family, and whatever happens to anybody in that family, be it death, loss of a relative, we are all concerned. So we decided that we should have a fund, a response fund, duly registered, and we are getting the appropriate, the key objectives in the Constitution. One is to really organize and coordinate resources towards establishing a savings and investment scheme. Two,
you have to move forward irrespective of what it is. The other is direction. Do you have a strategy to mobilize financial resources from membership? So when is the higher return? You need to be specific in your core objective. What is that thing that you want to achieve? Do you want to be listed as that? You will always be around. As long as you make a little bit more than last year that we have seen with other investment clubs, the number one big challenge of Ugandan, especially those in savings and others, is indecision. Many investment clubs, I know of lawyers take on an account. Why? Someone says, let's put money in chicken. I'm a lawyer, who is going to look after chicken? Okay, let's do buildings. Buildings are overrated. Okay, I did not sit up there. Can you have the finance committee? Can you have internal audit? Can you have the investment committee? And the most important, you have to be very specific. As Mwirians, I can see you're very proud. You're proud of your name, you're proud of your school. Can you do that something that will put your name out there? Will it be a storage building? Will it be a hospital? Are you going in the health sector? Are you going in the education sector? What is that one thing that you will do? We cannot always be, there is one thing that someone can, when you die, they don't talk about, all those other things. They talk about the big things that you've done. So as this investment club, you have the potential when I look around. We are going to move away from 20,000 Uganda shillings, like yesterday. We are going to build this thing to think big. 5 years from now, we must be talking about something tangible, something big. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have ladies? Yes, we still do. And gentlemen, thank you very much. I'll invite questions because then we learn better. Thank you very much.
It's very rare to find a very tough woman. This one is tough. But she has said under the floor. Follow me, an engineer for all of these years, contributing 20,000 per month.
When your house girl does the same.
Putting up sums that are not going to discourage many people. You will realize that we have a disparity in ages. This investment club is being championed by people who are in Mwiri in around 70s or so. The 80s may be the only one probably representing or so. 80s and young and HT, but then the 2000s, maybe those 2-3 young men, and we appreciate. So, of course, I think the thinking was the later generation should not be thrown away because they have not yet had that strong financial muscle. So we must, kasavu kanyama, balance carrot and stick. But I'm very sure that in a short while, we should be able to revise it to about 50,000 or so. And you have noted where we will need your service quite urgently. Mwiri Old Boys Association, unlike other investment clubs, has an asset which was donated by His Excellency Apple Milton Obote, the late, may God rest his soul. Very huge. Maybe we'll take you there and you visit. When you're on site, that is when you will appreciate the kind of gold that we have, that the President of the Old Boys Association has allowed the investment club to use. Right now, it should be running as a church or something like that. But it sits on over 2 acres. It's already fully constructed. If one thought for example, of putting there a modern club to the level of Laughters and maybe Ginger Stadium Club, at that level, maybe an investment of about 500 million for both weddings and, you know, I'm very sure that it will work. Now, where DFC is...
But sawa saja Yasima, I don't know the English equivalent, I don't know if you pleased. Yes, Soga equivalent. Yasima, to serve as the Minister of Finance, Investments, Planning and Economic Development for Uganda Kingdom.
Unadura, recently also Odongo. I am a tax consultant and partner at Frank Team and Company Associates. I also work as a tax consultant at Birunji Barata and Associates. I'm a Rotarian, Rotary Club of Nansana. In Mwiri from 1988 to 1994 in the Great Nebikamba House.
1974 to 1979. I am a retired public servant, but I'm into PR consulting. I'm also a newly found Rotarian. Thanks to people like Rotarian PGD Bob. Thank you.
Thank you. Sudi Bamlesewa, 7881, Annington House. I'm currently the country director of African Wildlife Foundation.
I work with the Ministry of Agriculture. I was in Mwiri from P1 to Senior 4, and I was in Court South.
My name's Andrew Wadube, right from Mwiri Primary 72 to 86, President's House. I work as a prosecutor with iniquity.
Charles Naita, Mwiri 13 years. I was in Nabikamba. I worked with Uganda National Health Authority. I'm a civil engineer.
My name is John Onen. I was in Mwiri from 1983 to 1985. I worked all my life in the NGO sector. Now I help the young NGOs to be able to come up. Thank you.
Engineer Jock Michael. I was in the Brewer House where I started as assistant head of house, attendant as head of house. I am a consulting engineer where I'm a senior partner in the two companies, that is 3MS Investments and TBT Global. I'm a Rotarian and a past president of the club of Kampala.
I'm Michael Banyeko. I'm a graphics designer. I was in Brewer House, 79 to 85.
Thank you very much. My name is Andrew Mutengu. I'm an agricultural economist. Mwiri from 71 to 88. I was in House 1, House 3 and House 5, plus head of Grower House from 78 to 88. Thank you very much.
Good evening, gentlemen. Oh, they are ladies. I'm Peter Wakabi. I'm doctor. Yes, I am a doctor, but not a medical. I was in Nabikamba from 81 to 87. Currently, I work with the Uganda National Examinations Board. I'm the head of ICT, and also I have a private consulting firm. We basically involve systems and we focus on artificial intelligence agents. Thank you.
Yes, good evening. My name is Mulamba Pasi, Mwiri Primary School. My classmate Emmanuel Luangla, right from P1 1977. I was in the Brewer House. Had a stint with Uganda Revenue Authority for 20 years. Right now in private work.
Good evening.
ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul Kabasa. I was in Mwiri Primary School from 1972 to 1978, and then Busoga College Mwiri, Wilson House from 1979 to 1983. I am an aquaculture specialist currently, but I worked in the public service in the office of the president as a deputy director for research in ethics and integrity. Currently, I have my own consultancy in strategic planning and others related. I competed with this man and he beat me, but no stories.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Juko Kayondo Andrew. I was in Mwiri 1983 to 86. I'm a professional teacher, and I'm still teaching in Chambogo College. Okay.
Wilson. I was in Mwiri from 90 to 92, and I was in Courts House. I'm a contractor. Thank you.
Good evening. I wasn't in Mwiri, but my dad was in Mwiri. Yes, my dad was in Mwiri. I'm called Sarah Maramwea, and I'm a student Mwiri. And Mwiri made my dad, and I'm very proud of it. And it's a very good, it's a very good place to be, and it's very interesting that all of you guys can sit down here and meet to make all these. Yes, so I'm not from Mwiri, but I'm attending the Mwiri graduation.
Fortunately, she speaks a lot, so she has said a lot about our clan. Though I'm a student pursuing a Bachelor of Computer Science, Makerere University Year 2, and I'm here to learn new ideas as I'm ready to get out in the field and meet and work with you people. Thank you very much.
So good evening. I'm Ngati Solomon Moya. These gentlemen and ladies, thank you very much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm called Esther Moya. I'm the mother to these people, and I'm a wife to the Mwiri person.
I was in Mwiri, 1982 to 1985, and I was a junior prefect of Mwiri. I worked for GSK of GlaxoSmithKline Line for 20 years. And currently, I'm working with Nestle as exports manager in charge of Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and Southern Sudan.
CNN now.
Good
evening, Obis. I'm Dr. Mukama Charles. I was in Mwiri from 78 to 81 in Brewer House. I'm right now in the Ministry of Agriculture. I'm a vet by profession, but I'm also an economist.
I joined Mwiri in 1978 and stayed there for 6 solid years, left 1984. I'm a livestock economist. I work in the Ministry of Agriculture. I have one leg there, and the bigger leg in the private sector, a company called AgroWaste.
I was there up to senior 7 for a reason. I'm a retired public servant and currently consulting for Child Fund International. You're welcome.
Feel comfortable when you pay yourself. Thank you.
Most times people will stay around once mobilized if there is something value they get out of that. And I want to request you for us to have a target. I know the chairman gave some investment proposals there, but let us have a target, and our target can be moving. But we need to give a target that can be, because in life you need milestones. Yeah. Both no mukazi, the parents are expecting some milestones in that marriage. And you know what we go through when milestones are challenged. They come with some other ideas. So even the contributors, they will have expectations. You can't report, you can't lack reporting of milestones every year. It keeps away people. So for me, I want to give an example at the end. And my friend OB accountant was saying, if our target was 100 million, so you have a target, and we want to get 100 million to do ABCD, how much should we contribute within a year? That helps for planning, for managing expectations. How fast do we get to our target is also very important. I've seen when you keep giving in and there's no milestone, it can be a challenge. But thank you very much. I pledge Chairman, Board of Directors, of Governors, I pledge Chairman MOBA and my members, I'll endeavor to join you in Kamoro, in what, as much as I can, and also to mobilize my OBs that I meet, Engineer Sebuato, Ochitiba Kaya Kavuma, you know, those kind of people to join us whenever we are in such gathering. Thank you very much for the honor.
Thank you very much, Ochitiba. At this juncture, can I request...
Let's look at the core objective, which of course has to be sharpened. We have to make it smart if we're to work towards achieving it. To mobilize financial resources from membership for short, medium, and long-term investment. So, again, we have to agree, we're saying we're going to mobilize. How are we going to do it? And this is where, again, we're going to say, okay, what are the targets that we want to achieve if we're to make sure that our objective is achieved? And above all that, we have our values: dignity, honesty, transparency, and accountability. The values. If we can adhere to these values, then the members will have no fear to invest as much as possible. So members, I want us, before we leave this meeting, at least let everybody reflect on our vision, mission, core objectives, and values. And I can assure you, once we do that, the rest will come to pass. Now, against that, I'm now going to do a few slides. I'm not going to talk for the slides will talk for themselves. Hope everybody will see, but we shall just use them as talking points. We having this as a maiden meeting, and among us we have some people who are members in investment clubs. Others are doing it for the first time. I belong to 3 investment clubs, so I know what happens out there, but some people may not know what investment clubs are. We have our guests there. So I just wanted us to go through the basics, and as it normally happens, for such interventions to happen, not everybody sits and agrees. It's normally 1 or 2 people that come together and they generate an idea, share the idea with others. So we are very grateful to our OBs, Fred and the team for having thought about this, and let us come together to actualize it. Now, what I'm saying here is that, and again, as Ochitiba said, we must make this club attractable. We must look at those activities that will encourage members to come together as friends. So we must use this opportunity to combine, and it's very good. My brother Moya has done something which I think the rest of us should do, to encourage our children, our spouses to come and be part of these meetings. And again, as we talk about how we run this club, and I've seen it happen in other clubs, the membership to this club can be open beyond the old boys. We can decide as a team, say yes, our spouses can also be members of the club. Our children can be members of the club.
No spices.
Spouses?
Spices.
Oh, spices, yeah. Of course the spouses come with spices. Yes, the spouses come to spice, you know, the interaction. I'm sure if we had a couple of them here, maybe the sitting. We're changing from social, adding there something else. So it is the community of investors who pool resources. Pooling resources, what type of resources are we talking about? Not only financial resources, but the knowledge and skills that we have. Because if you're talking about investment, it's not about the money. It goes beyond the money. How do you apply that money? What are the things? So if we can pool our resources together and looking in principle at a unit trust work, as a unit trust work, we shall be again defining what a unit is. We want to share knowledge and actively acquire assets as a mutual goal. And again, here we're talking about, as an investment club, what do we need to say? For us to actualize this idea, we must have procedures on how we're going to do the investment. Are we going to have an investment committee? Strategic direction. That's why we need a strategic plan. Because in the strategic plan, we're going to have a strategy on how we mobilize resources. And this strategy on resource mobilization will direct us on how we're going to deal with our subscriptions, how we're going to deal with our monthly contributions or annual contributions. Now, after we've gotten the membership clear about our goal, we need to set up an organizational structure. And again, the lady from DFCU raised this question. We need to agree on the organizational structure. But for the basics, we should agree on the following. We must have a secretariat, which is the executive. We must agree on the time and place to meet. We must agree on the club rules and the issue of record keeping. She talked about having our accounts audited and so on and so forth. Good that on the team we have people who are very grounded in financial matters, so that shouldn't be a problem. But in terms of organizational structure, we must be very clear. Under the secretariat, we must have committees that are going to be charged with different responsibilities, in charge of education, in charge of investment, and so on, all the other areas that we may agree on as a team. Next. So here, I'm not going to go through that. That's about the executive. I think we already have a basic structure, but just making sure that we have enough people that will make a decision. Enough people. For example, if you are to have an effective executive committee, it can't be of 2 persons. At least you must be more than 2 persons. And then you must make it in such a way that when there's voting, somebody has to make a what? A veto decision. So if you are 4, then it can be a problem. So again, we have to work on that and see how it works. Right, next. Next. Yes, I want to talk about record keeping, and I'm not worried about this, that we have in our executive people who are grounded in financial matters. But I just talked to Fred about how we're going to share information, and it's good that we have a website. So that means we should be able to access any information about member contributions at any time. If we have an e-spreadsheet that every member can view on the website, that would be good. Again, this promotes transparency. Members know that their shares are being organized, and I think that is okay. We're good to go. Yes, about the regulations again, I'm sure the team is going to share with us this. I don't know at what level. Are you going to share with us?
No.
Today or next meeting?
No, next meeting.
Yeah. But again, the interim committee is working on this because we must have policies, we must have guidelines, we must have rules and regulations. And again, this will just help us to actualize our idea. It's very important for us to have an organized way of operating, so that when a decision is taken, it has a background. We are dealing with money. The decision has to be backed by our rules, by our policies and regulations. So this again is an important aspect of setting up an investment club. Next. Yes, we must set up a legal structure. This has been talked about. As a club, we must agree. What legal form are we going to take? Are we going to be, because when I asked Fred, he told me we have registered a document. But again, you have already seen the limitations of a document. You can't just use it to register a club and operate informally. You can't use it for business. So we have to quickly work beyond that. That has helped us to open an account. But now what do we want to do? We don't want just to open an account and leave our money on the account. That money must move and make money. So do we want to have a company limited by shares? A company limited by guarantee without shares? We can't, because we're already investing money and members want returns. But all that attracts tax. Do we want to have a cooperative, a savings and credit cooperative, or want to have a multi-purpose cooperative? What are the advantages and disadvantages of this? And again, members will need time to internalize this through education and financial literacy to be able to decide on the legal structure. And as I was saying, amongst us we have people who are grounded in this area. They can help us to dig a little bit deeper to find out which legal structure we can take. But the most important thing here we have to note is that we have to protect our investment as much as possible. In terms of overexposure taxation, if we can find a way of getting a form that will be convenient. Next. Yeah. As a team or as a club, we need to build a common agenda. What do I mean by a common agenda? Now that once we have all the legal structures in place, we need to agree on what happens when we meet. We need to agree on what happens when we meet. This will give a motivation for members to attend meetings. But the most important thing here is that we must note that at every meeting, every member is interested in reviewing the financial health of the club and the performance. Because here we are talking about investing resources, and people can only be motivated to invest more money if they know the financial health and performance of the club, investment club. Now, for clubs which are big, that have big numbers, the secretariat is normally charged with this responsibility, and the secretariat reports to the general membership at agreed meetings. But for smaller clubs, every member, small investment clubs of 10 to 20 people, all members can meet. But as you know, ours is going to be a massive club. So again, as we are drafting or looking at the organizational structure, we want to see what roles and responsibilities do we upload on the secretariat and what goes to the annual general meeting or the bigger meetings. So then we set agendas for the various meetings. These are opportunities for us to review investments. As you earlier heard from the team from the bank, we need to agree on what type of investments we're going to put our money in. And it's not the chairperson, the secretary and the treasurer who are going to make decisions for us. It's the membership. But we can delegate again, depending on what we want to do. So the issue of deciding on the investments, one of the things we discuss in meetings. And this is a very important area in investment that every member should get interested in. As you saw the proposals that were flashed on the slide, at what level do we want to get into the various investment vehicles? When do we want to start lending? Is it now, or we build our resources to a certain level? When do we want to start going into real estate? And real estate for which purpose, for what purpose? So these are some of the decisions, the agendas that we have to agree, and we bring them during our discussions. Next. Next. Yes. As I said earlier, while we do all this, we need to have some fun. And this is what other clubs do. If you don't have fun in clubs, members get bored easily. Chairman, I don't know whether you have achieved this today, but we're still waiting. I know we have had some snacks, we have had some food. Tomorrow we could meet at somebody's house. You never know. We could meet at a restaurant. Whatever you choose, make sure that there is fun. So who meets the cost of the fund? Members, who meets the cost of the fund?
The fund makers.
The fund makers. Okay? So the next meeting could be at one of our homes, and the fund makers meet the cost of the what? Of the fund. You could use some profits. Go back. You could use some of our profits to go on fund outings. I have had some clubs committing to vacations with their investment earnings, trip to Hawaii or other fun destinations. Members, this can be the best motivation for people to join this club. If we have a goal that during the next year, the members are going on vacation in Hawaii, I can assure you that the shares are going to be increasing by the day. So, as I said, I didn't want to make this an academic discussion. I just wanted to bring out some ideas that we have grabbed as we come across some of these interventions. And I want to say thank you very much for the time and look forward to discussing a little more on this. Thank you very much.
Titus Paul Kabasa. Seconded. Taka. When all motions have been seconded, what do I do next? You know, things of the law, they are very funny. It's not like engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, I think now I would like to call upon one gentleman to give us a vote of thanks before we go into the fun. How is that, Mr. Chairman? Is that okay? Can we ask one innocent gentleman? Let me be sectarian again. Join your name, please. Come and give the vote of thanks.
Draft constitution and policy guidelines be adopted as the tentative working documents for the investment club until when need arises for their amendment or correction. And if there is anyone who feels there is need to make an adjustment in the current policy guidelines and the constitution, this is the time. We can adopt them with amendments, or we can adopt them the way they are.
We look at all the three and we ratify and adapt for use until the next AGM.
Sorry, yes.
I don't know whether members had that. So I think it's not necessary for us to move another motion.
That the executive which has been steering is going to continue until the next general meeting. That is the understanding. That the constitution which they have drafted be now our working constitution. That the guidelines which they also provided be our working guidelines. Ladies and gentlemen,
I know it's a serious thing. Otherwise I didn't know what was going on. So one time he just called me and said, "Onen, where are you? We can't see you." So I want to say thank you for also letting me know that this is what's happening. I'll make an effort for all the OBs that I meet. I'll always remind them that there's something going on. For one reason or another you might not know, but next time if there is a meeting, please come. So thank you the people who initiated this. Thank you for the people who volunteered that time to be able to get this thing started up. Thank you the presenters who have made an effort to prepare, possibly at short notice, to be able to make this thing. So, and also thank you the people who have hosted us. So
people started Nusu. And from me I wanted to start Busu. There was the National Union of Students of Uganda said me and mine I should be the Democratic Union of Students of Uganda. Let's not go into that. Ladies and gentlemen, something small I had omitted.